How much of an impact on the team was it when the Flames traded Ference, Kobasew for Primeau and Stuart? I feel like that's where the Flames started to decline after the run.
Many a team has made a trade that they thought was important and upgrading, and it upset the balance of not power, but the chemistry in the room. And even though Primeau and Stuart were good dudes, good players, it was a terrible decision. Terrible. And I'll say it again. Terrible.
Do you know who that conversation is about real quick right now? It's Boston. They're absolutely humming. Everything's gone wonderfully. Do you risk messing with the chemistry if you chase Horvat, or is it just let these guys cook their own heat right now? Like, how would you view that?
How many times have teams made trades and you're like, well, that didn't work? Like, it happens. It's not 100%. And I'm not a stats nerd like Pinder, but there's no way it's even close to being 50-50 either, right? Like,
it's because if you don't win the cup, you've screwed up, right?
Yeah, it's like Brian Burke says, only one team gets the cup.
And so last year, it's like, okay, you added Manson if you're Colorado and a couple other pieces. Those worked, and Tampa, it's like, okay, you added Coleman and you added Hagel and all these, but there's only one cup. There's a lot of rental things that didn't go that well.
But you may have won anyway, right? Like,
Manson was a big piece. Sure, I'll play along.
Do you know what you just don't know? I that was a big deal when we lost Ference and Kobasew because they were so big in the room and we were all tight knit group, like very tight.
See, that's the thing. Adding Manson for draft picks or whatever, you're just adding.
Well, just like the Boston stuff, right? I think,
that's a deletion. You're taking guys out of the room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's to me because Stuart's a fine player or whatever, and Primeau was what Primeau was. But yeah, I think it was, and I'm going on what you've told, what anybody that was in the room that generation, that era said. Yeah, as soon as Ference and Chucky left, it was.
Big voice and big person.
I learned that early because Jason Woolley and Stu Barnes for Chris Wells, who's in Alberta right now. Hi, Wellsy.
Hey, Wellsy.
Again, the reason we were successful in Florida the first year I was there, and even the first 2 years of existence for that franchise, was the room. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. You want to see muck? Go look at those lineups. But everyone the room was so good. You knew what you had to do. You took care of each other. Make a trade. Well, we're going to improve our talent level and blah, blah, blah. No. Careful what you wish for.
It's funny with Boston, and again, it's different. That wasn't a deadline deal. That was kind of a hockey trade. But you mentioned Boston, and you go to this year. It's like Taylor Hall is a third liner on that Boston team. Where are you going to try and improve? Right? Maybe you add, but you don't delete. But I go back. One of the ones that stands out in my memory, and you were on it right away. It was Boston trading for Rick Nash.
Yeah.
They give up a first rounder to get Rick Nash, and it was instantly, you're like, I don't see the fit. No, and it didn't work.
David Krejci's been big for them. We haven't talked about that. He didn't play last year. He was in Europe, comes back and still looks like a 2C. If you push him down a line, like goodness, like bring in Bo Horvat. He's a leader. I don't think that guy's going to bring anything but positive energy.
How much better can you be?
Well, it's not about how much better can you be. It's if you're this close to winning a cup, how could you not make that one more move to add another guy that's on pace to score 50? I don't know.
But then what happens with Charlie Coyle and what?
The reason you don't make the move is just because of what we said. You have a room, and even if a guy comes in isn't a disruption, there's only so much ice time, right? And barring injury, they've got the right amount of ice time. Everyone's fitting nicely, blah, 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 blah. Now, if someone gets hurt, sure. That'd be great to have an extra guy sitting there in the wings, easy, that's capable of and as quality as Horvat. But I wouldn't do anything if I'm Boston.
Well, and then the flip side of it is it's not trade, but you talk all the time about that 04 team and how absolutely decimated you got on the back end. There was Dion sitting right there. Sure, the chemistry in the room might have changed, but you probably got a ring if he's playing at his entry level, right?
We absolutely get a ring, and they're too effing cheap to play a guy. They're raking in millions of dollars that playoff run. It's
just give him the max deal. Let's go. This shouldn't have been a negotiation. He's a 6-7 overall pick.
Jesus Christ.
So now you want to add to the room. Yeah,
that
I get both sides. I get both sides.
That was there.
Adding Bo Horvat to this team now would be different than we're completely decimated. Please draft pick of ours,
of course,
sign and come in and play.
You had said with injury, like you don't know at the deadline whether you're going to be healthy or not. Like an extra guy, like, phew, I'm so glad we did this. Or to your point,
yeah, but you can't
there's too
add
many guys
Bo
now.
Horvat
You don't know which one.
anyway.